Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel for day 1549 of our daily content grind. We really cannot stick around and harp on the opening for very long because we have an absolutely stacked news roundup today. Like ridiculous amounts of new toys are dropping and getting revealed all at the same time. And we're starting with the biggest news of the week, which is our very first look at a fully finished Onslaught from Age of the Primes, our next Commander class figure and the core of our next Combiner Bruticus. So we finally get to see what exactly we are going to be getting with this toy. And okay, so the little extra things you can do with like the leg components that come with all of these figures so far, they generally get pretty imaginative, you know, like okay, I will admit, okay, like the armor emplacement, the defensive emplacement for Silverbolt, not as good as Menassor's big wide array of like micro base, you know, his assault platform. But they were both better than this. It's a robot, it's a pair of robot legs kneeling and the Bruticus double cannon just kind of mounted on top. This one's a little bit lame. I wish they could have done a little bit more with it. Now, there's not as much bulk in this because the characters making the legs are actually making the legs rather than just shunting into little trays. So this is a little bit different, I admit, but I don't know. This one feels a little bit boring. It does mean that the truck mode is pretty spot on. I do like the overall look of that. That's very G1, that super long truck that he turned into back in the day. It still make no sense to me how a truck that long goes. We'll skip the back of the box for now because we need to see everything here. Onslaught himself looks absolutely fantastic. Like, just spot on what I would expect a modern Onslaught toy to look like. Looks really, really solid. Yeah, no complaints there. Onslaught looking good. We need to talk Short King Bruticus. Now, I have seen people defending this one because they will point out that in the cartoon, he's always had short legs. And if you look up G1 Bruticus on Google image search, and you will find his little character model art that they are supposed to emulate when animating. And indeed, his legs do appear to be considerably short in that one. Watch any episode with Bruticus, that is not consistent. There are a lot of shots where his legs look like they are a perfectly normal, acceptable length. So I don't really buy into that excuse. This is just a fact of they are two deluxe toys being sold as Voyagers because of their extra engineering involved, and we're just going to have to suck it up in order to get the entire combiner. I don't like this. I really don't like this. I think they could have done more. They could have added bulk to the legs. So like there's like a yellow attachment and an olive green attachment to extend the legs a little bit. I think they could have done more. I think they absolutely could have done more to make him look a little bit more normal. Like there's a point where like the animation accuracy should not be a priority over just not looking weird. I think I would have preferred him not looking weird. But as far as Bruticus go, he looks fine. I do like that the chest plate is not toy based. It is based on how he looks in animation, because the animators for some reason decided to use like a chunk of blast off as the chest piece. I don't know why. It looks fine. It looks fine. It's just weird with the leg proportions. Just really weird with the leg proportions is all. Everything beyond that, I'm okay with. But yeah, if we take a look at the back of the box. So just like the other combiner commanders, he has that super mode thing that he can do without the others combined onto him. But with those hollow legs just looking like he's walking on a pair of stilts, or he's like some kind of weird raptor or something, it's a little bit more awkward on him. So we have sacrificed something in order to get this Bruticus looking show accurate. I know, it's a funny little mishap of how the toy was engineered. I think it's as good as it can be considering everything it has to work around. But yeah, it's going to be down to just like the proportions of those legs, and how much you really want to spend 42 bucks on them each in order to complete your Bruticus. There is a prototype out there too, the Bruticus prototype. It also includes a gray proto of Swindle there as well. And this is what they've been parading around at shows just as a proof of concept, and like this is, you know, how the toy is essentially going to work and how big it's going to be. And okay, it's an amusing little thing. At least we get a little bit of a different perspective on it. You can see the back of it. The back of it looks fine. Like, it's not like some of the other combiners we've had where a bunch of junk hangs off the back. Only thing hanging off the back is, you know, the cannon that's supposed to. You know, and in some of these shots, he does look better, but, you know, mileage may vary. We will see when people get it in hand next year. Oh, but that said, since we saw him as a piece of his leg, we do need to see Swindle on his own. They did do a full reveal of Swindle, and he is looking pretty solid. Like, that's actually a really, really nice looking animation accurate Swindle. Not sure why he's got little bits of his vehicle mode sticking out his arm. That feels like something that should have been folded up, photographer. Let's see if that's consistent. That is unfortunately consistent. Okay, he just has panels hanging out under his arms. Okay, well, it's a little bit disappointing. The rest of him looks okay. The torso looks fine. I'm actually surprised I managed to get the torso correct. Now, because he's not as bulky as Brawl, they did have the foresight to include a gigantic weapon with him, so he basically comes with Bruticus's cannon. And that makes a little bit of difference. Like, okay, you're getting a little bit more in, and it does convert into like a little like assault trailer for him. You know, and that's, you know, okay, and that's okay. That's okay. So we got at least that, and it's, you know, it's a little bit blocky as a Jeep goes, but it doesn't look bad. I'm still in favor of this. So yeah, Swindle looks fine. Swindle looks fine. He's sacrificing a little bit for everything going on. Whether or not he's going to be worthy of a Voyager class price point, that's going to be up to us to decide for ourselves one by one. But side by side with him, there was another toy announced that is equally or even more hyped up than Onslaught. We finally got the reveal of Armada Sideways. This was the exciting one to see. So he does look pretty good here. Not gonna lie, he does look pretty good here. We do have both Rook and Crosswise as the minicons. Both of them we can see, you know, do look really, really nice. I'm glad they can still combine into mirror. Weirdly enough, they took the Japanese name for the combined minicon. I'm pretty sure that's because I don't think they ever came up with one for the US. But aside from one of them looking very gorilla armed, they don't look too bad. You know, they are serving their purpose pretty well. Motorcycle mode looks pretty good. You got a kickstand molded into one of his arms, and everything seems to be where it was in the original Armada version. So all that seems to be accurate to the original. I have seen a lot start making a stink over the shape of his feet. Now I'm going to be fair about that. Sideways feet used to be very thin, and they were always to the far inside of his leg, meaning that this is actually an improvement because he has a much flatter and broader base to stand on than he used to. It just looks awkward when you see it because the actual shape of what his feet are still like very stuck on the inside of his leg. So it looks a little bit weird, but trust me, it is actually accurate. Now, the trick to this one, see, so do I have the other? No, I neglected to grab the other one, unfortunately. So there is a shot of the back of the box that shows the combining minicon gimmick and shows that he can actually ride on the motorcycle mode. Oh, no, never mind. I am in it. Never mind. We can find this. Just had some duplicate pictures to come up with. So here you go. Yeah, so it shows off what you expect, except in multiple photo shoots and in every angle of the box and in everything we've seen so far, at no point have they actually shown the main point of the character and the toy, which is to actually swap the heads for the Autobot and Decepticon factions. Now they do technically try to show like the flipping faction symbols because Like different photos that they've taken here have different like insignias shown on them. Like the motorcycle mode has the Decepticon, but they don't show the head swap. Now, Nate from the Transformer team has given us an update on Instagram. Yes, they are going to be able to do the thing. But when you are selling people on what is essentially a deluxe with 2 mini cons at a $42 price point, wouldn't you put everything the toy could do on the back of the box just to make sure everyone was completely aware of how much you were getting for that price point? It does seem like a little bit unusual to leave the most important factor of the character completely off the box. That's weird to me. You know, and the bike is taking up a huge amount of real estate on this. You absolutely could have shrunken something down here. You could have made room for the head swap demonstration. And none of the early photos that they've shown demonstrated the head swap, which seems like an absolutely gigantic oversight from Hasbro. So Nate has promised, he's out on vacation, he's on a trip or something, but he's promised that once he's back in office, where they actually have the toy, he'll take photos and actually show that, yes, they do the head swap. So this is going to be a very robust toy that does a whole lot of stuff. It's going to be a real test of if that new Voyager price point can really hold up or not. But yeah, that's an exciting reveal. That's an exciting reveal. Can't wait for Energon Rapid Run to come never. Takara is not to be left in the dust here. So last week when we saw the preview of their upcoming Prime and Bumblebee, I just kind of assumed that they were existing molds, finally seeing a release in Japan. So like, I just thought it was going to be like the A-level Optimus Prime from 1 with a new accessory and then just 86 Bumblebee. No, we have 2 completely new molds here, which is insane. So the Bumblebee is absolutely based on Devastation. And you can see that with like the color coming up on the legs, the flatter proportions. Yeah, he looks fine. He looks fine. Looks like a decent enough Bumblebee. I'm not really happy about the hollow guns. That looks really weird. I mean, Bumblebee is already going to be a small deluxe. I really do not think you needed to budget his plastic so badly that he doesn't have solid molded guns. That looks really, really weird and awkward. So I'm not a fan of that. That looks pretty bad. Vehicle mode is cute. It's a tiny squat little vehicle. Mounts all of his weaponry, which you can see he does have an extra gun on the back. Yeah, it's just a cute little take on Bumblebee, and it is that vehicle mode he had in the Devastation game that is not quite a Volkswagen Beetle. I love that people are looking at this, and I am looking at this and going, Classics Bumblebee? Can we get a Classics Bumblebee retool? You put a peg hole on the back of the character where a jet ski backpack could look really, really nice. I'm just saying. And this really is the overall shape of like that Bumblebee, like right down to the extra panels on the legs. I would love this. I would love a Classics homage. We haven't gotten one of those like ever. And Bumblebee's a really good one for it. And this is going to need a repaint or two. We're going to need to figure out some way of re-releasing it. So yeah, do another Bumblebee. I would love to see that. And then we have the new Orion packs, Optimus Prime. Whichever. Looking pretty good here. So the vehicle mode I could use a little bit more like a little bit more paneling just to kind of cover up some of the gaps and some of the ugliness here. This was definitely made with the robot mode in mind. You get little accessories like the hologram. You also get the big mining tool, which is a pretty cool accessory to include. Here's where you can really kind of see like the vehicle mode's kind of rough. We're not going to sugarcoat it. It's a kind of rough vehicle mode for the sake of making a pretty stellar looking Orion packs. You know what? I will take the trade-off there. We've gotten enough versions of this toy that like there's some to satisfy whatever your needs for it are. So this one just ending up looking really, really nice. Yeah, I will accept this one. This one actually looks pretty good. This one looks pretty good. Though I am admittedly more excited for that Bumblebee. These are announced in Japan. We have no English announcement for them yet. No idea when they're coming out in the US. Don't worry, they will come out in the US. I promise you that. Devastation was more popular in America than it was in Japan, so this is just a matter of time. I do wish they'd hurry that up, though. I want to see that Bumblebee, and I want to see it repainted into the Classics mold. There you go. So, it's a stacked week when we're already 15 minutes into this recording, and we're just now getting to the official photos of Missing Link Delta Magnus. Yeah, we still got lots to go through, too. This is going to be a heavy news roundup day. He continues to look absolutely fantastic. We don't have to spend too much time on this because we saw photos of it before, but these are some really, really nice shots of it. Everything that you can do. I love that it's stacked with other Missing Link figures in the back. I still, by the way, have no idea which version of that RC to get, because that salmon pink and orange one we have seen forever. And that's just like what I think of when I think like original RC. But then you also have like the RC that looks like G1 RC. So it's I don't know. I'm undecided. I'm still undecided. But yeah, like the original version of Powered Convoy had all of these were like supposedly different modes that they had imagined the toy was capable of. So just to show off, you can still do all that. There's Powered Buggy and his driver. So yeah, still lots you can do. Still lots you can do. There's the original. There's the modern one. Yeah, you can tell aside from a few cuts in the plastic and a few visible joints, yeah, you can hardly tell the difference. They do a fantastic job of replicating these. I love Delta Magnus colors. I've never had the G1 version, so this is actually tempting. Though the Magnus is also nice. I'm going to have to get one or the other. This is again where I'm going to get stuck on a choice. I can't afford both. So, this thing's like $220. I can't afford both. I'm not even sure I can afford one, but we will see. Transformers announced their Prime changers. We had listings for these that left us kind of confused. So now we actually have the stock photos telling us what these are. And just like any stock photos from the kid-based lines, there was no press release, big announcement, nothing like that. We're just like, hey, here they are. And what they are mostly minor repaints of existing toys. So here's Earthspark Optimus Prime, which is a decent toy. This is the deluxe, by the way, not the Warrior. But yeah, the deluxe version of that toy, pretty good. So you get that. You get another shot at that toy. If you missed out on it, it's pretty good. Is this the Earthspark or is this? No, it's the Cyberverse. This is Cyberverse. Okay. Okay. So you'll excuse me. It's been a day. I am eepy. All right. And okay, you have a minor version of Cyberverse Bumblebee as well. This is, again, a pretty good Bumblebee toy. If they are just releasing it as a generic, hey, this fills some space on your shelves and it's a pretty good Bumblebee, this is not a bad call. But then you have the Megatron, and the Megatron is a completely new mold. I wish I had a bigger shot of it, unfortunately. But yeah, it kind of follows the Cyberverse theme. It looks like Cyberverse, Megatron as a deluxe. So if you're a fan of that show and you just kind of wish Megs had his own deluxe class toy during that, there you go. One is about to exist. Looks pretty good in tank mode, maybe a little bit cheap in some angles. You can definitely tell that this toy was engineered many years after these toys. But it's a nice little trio of figures. We have a Smash and Change Optimus Prime. It's the Rise of the Beast toy. Just a little bit of a minor deco change. For a major deco change, we have a redo of the Smash Changer Optimus Primal, who now is featuring Beast Wars colors and is thus far more appealing to me, though they didn't really do any remolding on that would have made the chest more accurate, so sad. But you know what? Fair play, fair attempt. So we got one new mold in there and a second chance at some pretty good toys. So that's going to be, I have no idea how these are going to be released, but they will exist somewhere. We have listings for Wave 2 of the Hot Wheels collab. We are getting even more of these. So there's no way of telling exactly what decos they are going to use. I am presuming they will use the originals. But so far we have Twin Mill 2. So we're getting a repaint of the Twin Mill figure. It's going to be an exclusive, but we don't know where yet. We have the El Segundo from Hot Wheels, which I believe I have taken the liberty of digging up these for you. So this is the original version of that particular design. It's a little bit Corvette, It's a little bit Corvette in appearance, but it is a unique model for Hot Wheels. So I'm presuming it's going to be this silver one because that's the OG. And then GT Scorcher, which is this one. And again, this is the original deco. I'm presuming they are going to be using that. And it's kind of a more generic looking race car with just like the big scoop in the front and the wing in the back. We will see what exactly they choose, because both, like a lot of Hot Wheels cars, they have come out in so many different color schemes. Yeah, there's just a ton. There's a ton they could pick from. It's probably going to be the first release. Just in case you missed it, Robosen did officially announce their Soundwave. We did a whole video for this. But just for the ones who happen to miss it, yes, this thing is out. It does Bluetooth speakers. It does voice recording. It has lots of brand new lines from Frank Welker. Auto transforming, of course it is. And $1,400. Or if you get it early, $999. If you get it before January 4th. These are not for me. They are very cool, but they are not for me. These are mostly plaguing my TikTok timeline, as I cannot get past the myriad of influencers who already have this and in every video act like they just saw it transform for the first time when you know they didn't. You have that toy perfectly framed to be in robot mode. No, you didn't just see this transform for the first time. They're getting to be good actors, I'll give them that. So, you remember the reissue storm that we had last week? It is continuing. There is a reissue out for Gigawatt, and I can confirm. I actually saw this at my Target last week. I don't see the price on it here, but still, this was one of the best of the crossovers, which is surprising considering it's one of the first ones. And yeah, this is absolutely worth a pickup if you have not picked it up before. It's a really cool figure with some really cool details and touches for Back to the Future fans. And weirdly enough, they're rerunning Hoist from Earthrise. I didn't think this was a toy that was actually like rare upon release. I kind of remember seeing this guy pretty easily. Oh, well, I guess some people had some troubles, so there you go. He's out again, too, so good luck to you. So, My Neza and Transformers. We had our first look at the opening of this. I don't know if it's visible to just anyone who wants to click on a link. This might just be, this might be region locked, but it's probably, you can probably find it somewhere. So yeah, this is just the opening for the series, which I guess actually exists if we have an opening with full credits and everything. So yeah, this is reusing Cyberverse assets. So yeah, Evergreen just never dies. I don't know if we are ever going to see hide nor hair of this because it is a Chinese exclusive series. So very, very unlikely we are ever going to actually get to watch this ourselves. If we do, I will let you know. I will figure out how to watch it and give you some thoughts and opinions. But yeah, it's just weird that it's existed for so long, but now it's finally a thing. Like, okay, I guess you credit for determination. Blokees showed off a bunch of their upcoming stuff, including this Tarn from their Action Edition model kit line. And Tarn always looks really good, and this one is no exception. We also have their take on Bruticus, so similar to how they worked things with Devastator. This is in their smaller Defender line, the ones specifically that have their vehicle modes as a thing. And you'll be able to buy additional parts in order to actually build a Bruticus out of them, which, you know, ends up scaling decently with your others. They've also announced that their little guys are going to be getting into the Beast Wars. So there's a Beast Mode Megatron, just super cute, fire breathing, which wasn't a thing for him. Another look at their Megatron. I believe we've seen him plenty at this point. And Blokees always has a lot of stuff in the works, so, and they do good things, so good on them. And we are actually going to finish with Blokees because they showed off their 2026 special set, which is Dinobots and Dinobot adjacent characters. This is based on supposedly the desertion of the Dinobots, which I doesn't explain why Grimlock's fishing. But yeah, similar to the Golden Lagoon set that they did, it's everybody in gold and silver colorings, which looks pretty good. On the Dinobots, it just kind of looks typical Dinobot, outside of like Swoop, who is obviously very different here. Call it Starscream from the Golden Lagoon, call it really fancy Sunstorm. And then Wheeljack hanging out because, you know, he's Dinobot Daddy, technically. They are neat looking figures though, like even the Optimus in two-tone gold and silver. I think I actually like that. I think I like that. So if you're a Blokees like purist, if you're going for like a 100% Blokees, good luck to you. You got a very weird set to grab now. Yeah, geez, 26 minutes in. This is our news roundup. Like I said, tons of stuff this week. So now I'm gonna go rest my voice. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time. Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.